everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. So something a little bit different today. I said I was going to be bringing you these average girl tries makeup brands, full face of makeup, and I've decided to do one today, hence why I look exceptionally sick on my face. I am so pale, that makeup, I just look like I'm dead. I've got like awful black rings around my eyes, but we're going to rectify that. So today I decided we were going to try out doing a full face of Revolution makeup. Some of these will be first reactions to some of these products because I've literally just bought them, and other ones I've had in my collection for a while, but I've only used them with other products that aren't Revolution. So we're going to try and do a full face of makeup using only Revolution makeup and see whether an average girl who's definitely no type of beauty artist. I have had no makeup training in my life and I am probably quite rubbish at doing this, but we're just going to see whether the average person can actually create a decent full face of makeup using only Revolution products. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. I'll move closer to the camera just so you can see a little better. God, I look awful with that makeup on. I literally, like, my eyes are so red. Also, I've had a little bit of a breakout here, so I'm hoping that we can try and cover that up. But first things first, I need to get my hair out my face. So I've got the most attractive hairband I could find, and that is a Minnie Mouse one. So let's just chuck that on and get my hair out on my face. So the first thing I picked up was the Pore Perfecting Primer. I have never used this before ever. I think it's like a clay. Literally no idea what I'm doing with this at all. It's got a little spatula in it. So I'm guessing it's gonna be a clay like I thought, and yeah, it's kind of waxy. I've just put my finger on it and it doesn't actually move, so I'm thinking we'll have to dig this out with this little tool. That's why they've given it to us. So let's just dig some out. I don't know what I'm this could be interesting. I don't really know. I might have too much actually. The instructions said just dig out and then blend in, so I think I'm going to have to use my fingers on this, to be honest. I had a little bit too much on there. Just blend this out. It's very white. I probably put way too much on my face, to be honest. I didn't think it would be white. I mean, it feels very velvety when I'm rubbing it in. It's just, I think I put way too much on, to be honest. It's quite a lot here and it's made me even whiter. Oh my god, my eyes look even worse now. I don't know how I feel about this. I can actually see it. I have quite dry skin and I already moisturised prior to this video, but I'm rubbing this in, it's kind of sticking to any little dry patch that I've got on my skin. Right, it's not going to blend in any more than that. I look even whiter than I did before. We're really going to have to cover this up with some foundation. It's really quite white. I kind of look like a ghost now. It's really made my panda eyes look even worse. So, I mean, it feels nice to touch. My skin does feel nice, but it has clung a bit to all my dry patches. So I picked up Conceal and Hydrate foundation. I've not used this one before. It comes in a little pumpy bottle. I picked this up in shade F3. I did buy this online and it's probably the completely wrong shade. I am very pale at the moment, so if it's the wrong shade, don't judge me. We're just going to test out the foundation. So lift a few pumps from there. I'm just going to start off with a little bit because sometimes I think a little bit goes a long way, and I normally just dot on my face where I want to put it and then blend it in after. I always put my foundation on with a beauty blender. There is literally only one foundation in my collection that I put on with a brush. So I thought we'd just go with the beauty blender again today. So this is a medium full coverage, so we'll soon see. I have got very dark circles under my eyes, so that's a true test. And also that I've got a little bit of breakout, like I said, around my mouth. So we'll see if it covers that. I mean, it's blending quite nicely. Just bounce it into my skin. I can't get over how red my eyes look at the moment. I'm just going to put a bit on there just to try and cover up my red eyes. Like I said, I'm absolutely not a professional at all. I literally don't know what I'm doing. This is literally how I apply my makeup. And I thought we'd do these average girl test videos because I know quite a few people like me don't really know what they're doing half the time. So it's always well and good when you see these makeup artists test these makeup products and they do a really good job of it. But then you get hold of the product and it looks nothing like what they've done because they are skilled and they've been doing it for years, and the rest of us just wing it. So I think I've blended most of that in. I literally only put 2 pumps of foundation on the sponge. It's done quite a good job of covering up under my eyes actually. Like you saw before how red I was all around my eyes. Done quite a good job of that, and where I had a breakout here, it's covered it a bit. You can still sort of see it, but it is definitely made it less red. I also don't think it's that far off my skin colour. I think it's actually quite a good match. We're going to darken this up with some bronzer and things like that. So yeah, I quite like that actually. To be honest, where I've put that primer, it's actually not tacky at all. Sometimes when I use foundations like this, my skin feels really tacky after, and I really have to set it, but I don't feel like it's that tacky. Right, so in terms of concealer, I picked up the Conceal and Define Infinite along with concealer, crease proof with, I can't even say the word, something infinite coverage. It's actually quite a little bottle. They do bigger versions of this, but I was reluctant to pick up the bigger version in case I didn't like it. I got this one in C1, which is one of their lighter shades. It used to be their lightest shade, but I think they've now actually gone lighter. I think they've now got like 0.5 or something like that. I just picked up the C1 because that's the one I always used to use. I'm literally just going to stick it under my eyes. I don't really like putting it up here where your beauty gurus usually do. I'm going to stick it under my eyes and make sort of a V shape underneath it and see if it covers up all my dark circles. So we're just going to brush it on. I do always find with liquid concealers that they do crease quite easily. So let's blend this in. I think I'm definitely going to have to mattify this down just because it is glowing a lot around my eyes, and if I don't set it, it's going to stick to all the little creases that I've got around my eyes. But other than that, it is blending into the foundation quite nicely. I think it has done a good job of covering up the dark circles that are under my eyes. I can never fully get rid of them just because they are so dark, but I think it's done quite a good job, to be honest. I think we're all blended. Like I said, I could probably dab that on there. Literally just dab the excess onto like my forehead, my nose and my chin. I don't like putting a lot on there because on my skin it just does look quite cakey, because up here I am quite dry and around my nose area. So if I put on masses of concealer in them areas, it will just cake and it will just look not very nice, to be honest. I'm quite impressed with the way that's covered up. Like I said, I never really fully get rid of my dark circles just because they're so dark and my skin's so pale. I think sometimes when I've got a tan they don't look as bad, but at the moment I am extremely pale and you can see them. So I don't have a Revolution setting powder, so I'm just gonna set with my NYX SFX setting powder. I don't bake, I literally just set my under eyes because it does crease like anything and it lasts. Like, it literally lasts like 5 minutes if I don't set it. To be honest, it's probably already creasing now. I just take a little bit of that powder and dust it under my eyes where I crease. Literally anywhere that I've applied that concealer, and there is a chance that it's going to crease. It is already creasing, to be honest. But that is because, you know when you get the little lines under your eyes here? That's exactly where it sinks into mine. And it creases throughout the day if I don't set it. The other place I like to just put a little bit of powder is literally just around my nose. I find it creases there, and also my little smile lines. It does crease there a lot. So I've set that down. I bought myself the Mega Bronzer in Cool that I thought would be good for contouring. However, when it turned up, it's not as cool as what I normally contour with. So I'm going to use that as my main bronzer. And I've actually got an old palette that I've had for ages. It's so old that it's actually like rubbing off here. I'm not sure if they still stock this or not. And if they do, I'll link it down below just with all the other products that I'm using. This is just the Cool Light and Contour Pro, I think it says, even though it's rubbed off. And I'm just going to use one of these shades to contour with. So I think I'll probably use this one here. Take some of that on my brush. I don't contour mad. I literally just like contour here and then I put some bronzer up here, really. So that's quite dark. I haven't used this palette for so long, and I've got a feeling I used it when I was less pale. I think we're going to have to try and blend this in. Well, obviously we're going to have to try and blend this in. I'm hoping it blends out a lot because I need to go out after this. So I'm going to put some up there as well. Let's try and blend this out. I mean, it's a lot darker than I was hoping it was going to be. I don't know what I was thinking. That was one of the lightest, that was the lightest shade in the palette, and this is the problem because when you're so pale, any little bit of colour actually looks like dark compared to what you've put on your face already. It's actually blending out alright, but it's probably a bit dark from what I would normally use. Work this in and try and get rid of this harsh line. This is what I mean, like makeup gurus make this look so easy, and then you've got me that just like ends up like a line on their face. But this is the whole point of these videos, like, can an average person that has no idea what they're doing really get this to work? And that's exactly what these videos are for. I mean, this is one brand, there is a lot more other brands that I want to test. I mean, I think I've blended that in as much as I possibly can. It doesn't look too bad now, I don't think, but then I think that's a lot better than it was. So that's enough with the contour. So if that was too dark, God knows what this is going to be. This is the cool. It's number one in cool, but I actually think this looks quite dark. So I think we're going to bronze up my face a little bit with that, but we could end up looking ridiculous. There's quite a lot on that brush. It comes, the payout on it, it's got a little bit of loose powder coming off around the palette. I think we're going to have to try and dust some of that off because I don't want to be looking like an Oompa Loompa. Alright, so that's really pigmented. Oh my god. I literally dusted most of that off as well. Oh my god, so orange. Literally the more I'm trying to blend it in, the more product is actually coming off this brush. I literally tabbed the smallest amount in it and it's just, wow, it's so pigmented. This pan would last so long. I think I've bronzed up one part of my face more than the other. I'm reluctant to put a lot on my brush now because the payout on it is actually ridiculous. Just keep working that in to try and blend it out a bit. Okay, so after a lot of blending, I think we've made that work. I think we've blended it in as much as we can. I am impressed with the payout on it. It's got an amazing payout on it. However, I would say, considering this is what I think was the lightest shade, it is really quite dark for someone my shade. And considering they do really light foundations, I would have thought there was a slightly lighter bronzer. It's not awful now I've put it on my skin. It's just giving me a bit of colour. I don't mind it, but it did take a lot of work to get it to actually blend in. I would say if you use this, use the tiniest amount and dust it off your brush because it goes so far. This is going to last so long. Now I've bronzed myself up within an inch of my life. I have got a blusher. This is the Blusher Reloaded Sweet Pea. It's a very pale pink by the looks of it. A very subtle pink. This is the kind of blusher shade I like because I don't really like overly pink cheeks. So I'm gonna literally dab my brush in it and dust it off just because in case it's as pigmented as that bronzer, because I can't be having all these colours going on my face. And I'm just gonna sweep that onto the apples of my cheeks. I don't know if you can, is that doing anything? I'm not sure. Maybe it's the very slightest pink shade. It's not, to be honest, it's not got a lot of colour to it. No, I think it is there. It's a very, very subtle pink. I think it just looks really pale compared to the colour of the bronzer that's on my cheek because the bronzer came out so dark and this is very, very subtle. But I think it is giving a very, very nice light pink payoff, which I much prefer to the bright pink blusher that you can get. It's just not really me, to be honest. It's quite a nice colour actually. I think maybe it would show up more if I didn't have such a dark bronzer on my face. But no, I think it's quite nice. I quite like it. So in terms of highlight, I picked up the Highlighter Reloaded Dare to Divulge one. I heard that this is a dupe for, I think it was a Becca highlighter. So I thought I'd give it a go. I've always loved Revolution. There's my makeup brush. I've always loved Revolution highlighter. I thought they've always been so pigmented. It's ridiculous. So it's this sort of champagne-y colour highlighter that I've picked up. I'm just going to take my highlighter brush and literally dab it into it. I'm so scared of it being like super pigmented now after that bronzer. Everything I'm like trying to use minimal amounts of. So I'm just going to sweep that up my cheek. Oh, you are pigmented. That has got a glow and a half to it. That's, ooh, I like that. I do like a real glow to my cheeks, and yeah, this definitely has that. That's I'm hardly dabbing my brush into the pan as well, and that is literally glowing. I did pick up a brow product from Revolution. However, I think I've got the completely wrong colour. I don't really understand what this is. So it says 24-hour brow, night and day brow pen. I got it in dark brown, which I probably shouldn't have got. The dark end looks like a pen, but it's separated into 3 little points at the end. And then it comes with this, which reminds me of, you know when you were a child and you had an eraser pen, where it had a pen and then there was an eraser at the end that would rub out your pen? That's what it looks like. And I'm not actually sure what it does. It just says day for the brown and then night for the white. And I'm guessing it's going to set it, maybe. I'm not sure. I can't put this on my eyebrows because I swatched it earlier and the colour of this is so dark. I don't think it's going to make my eyebrows look horrendous if I try it. Do I try it? I don't do a lot of my eyebrows anyway because they're quite thick as they are, and also they're so far apart, to be honest. I don't like to emphasise it. So years ago when I was a child, when I was an early teen, it was in fashion to have sort of minimal eyebrows, not do a lot with them and have very, very thin eyebrows. And I thought it was a good idea to just pluck them, and I overplucked them so far back and they've never grown back. And that's just how it is. I tried everything under the sun and they don't grow back. So I don't like to have them too dark and accentuate the fact that they are really gappy in between. So I'm not sure I want to put this on my eyebrows. Right, we're not going to put that on. I'm going to try the night one and see if this actually just like sets your eyebrows into place. So let's just rub this on. My eyebrows are completely wild at the moment. I really need to get them done. The shape of them is ridiculous. They're just like running wild. Now I think that basically just tames it into place. I think that's what it's for. It's done quite a good job. But like I said, I'm not going to put any product on my brow, especially when it's that dark. I like a slightly lighter brow than that. I think that's what it's for. If it's not, I apologise. I told you I don't know what I'm doing. There's also no explanation on this, so I don't really understand. So we're just going to leave my brows as they are like that. Can't really do much more with them. Next, we're actually going to use the palette that I've been using as my mirror the whole time. And this is the Revolution Forever Flawless, and this is the Allure palette. So it looks like this. This really reminds me of the Huda Beauty palettes. I think it's because it's got these mottled, speckled colours in there. I've just come a little bit closer just so you can see the eyes a bit more. So I think I'm going to use Sweethearts, which is this colour here, as my base colour, and just put that all over my eyes. Wow, that's pigmented. Oh, I'm really impressed with how pigmented that is actually. So I'm just using this all over my lid and just above it, just as my base colour. Actually, the pigment on that is actually ridiculous. The payout is ridiculous. I'm not really seeing much fallout from that colour under my eye. I know most people probably do, well, I know most beauty gurus do their eyes before they do their foundation because then it neatens it up a bit, but I just don't like doing that. That's not the way I work. So I'm just going to do the other eye. I don't know about you guys, but I always struggle to do one eye more than the other. This one's easier, but then as soon as I have to cross my face, I just find it so much harder. So this eye is probably not going to be as good. It never is. I've blended all of that in. So I think next I want to go in with this one, which is called Suave. And I'm going to use that mainly like to darken up my crease and my outer corner. And this is more of a pinky mauvey colour. Again, it's so pigmented, like I'm hardly using any product. I said that's so weird. I have my mouth like squished by my hand. I want to just darken up my crease just a little bit. So I think I'm going to use... Let's use Risky down here. It's kind of like a burnt red colour, I would call it. I just want to put a little bit of depth into my crease, just to separate them colours out a little bit. And maybe just the outer corner. It's looking very pink. So now I really want to try one of these speckly colours. So we're either going to try this one. Let's try Sinner because it's more of the pinky colour and I've done a lot of pink. So I'm just... Okay, it's very glittery. So I've just pulled that up and there's a real glitter to that. I'm going to try and... That is so sparkly. Actually, it's got a real iridescent look to it. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up. There's a real iridescent colouring to that. You can definitely see the pink, but when I turn, the light is shining a different colour. I really like that. Might go back and just darken the outside of my eye just a little bit more because it is very pink. So I think I'm going to put some of this Nymph, which is the purple one. Literally a tiny little bit on the outside. Okay, so I'm now noticing that there is a little bit of fallout on my cheek just here. It's not too much, literally I can brush it away, but it's mainly that glitter that I just put on my eye. It is, there is a bit of fallout from that. I do find that like glitter eyeshadows do that. You can't really get away from it. So I feel like that's darkened it just a little bit, which is what I wanted. And then I do want to just highlight the inner corner of my eye a little bit. So, I mean, I wouldn't normally do this, but I really want to try this colour here. So that one's called Love Struck, and it's just a glitter, and it's not got the white in it like the other one. So I just want to test to see like what that's like. Okay, that's very pink. That was probably a bad idea. I would normally put a lighter colour on the inside of my eye. I'm just going to drag that across. And what I think I'll do is I'll put that lighter glitter that I just put on the centre of my eye just here. Because I think that's the only way to even this out a bit. Right, so now I have got quite a lot of glitter like under my eyes here. It's the glitter colours that are doing it, that's the thing. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Nymph, the darkest colour I've used, and just drag it under my eye very slightly. Just to blend it all in a little bit. I just want to tie it all together a little bit. I'm literally dragging the smallest amount under my eyes. And then I'm just going to use some of this lightest pink colour again, just on the inside of my eye. Again, I don't have an eyeliner from Revolution. I haven't bought myself one, and I don't have a mascara, so I'm going to quickly off camera just pop it on, and then I'll come back and we will do lips. Right, so eyeliner and mascara done. This is quite a full-on look, to be honest. This is not what I was expecting to go for, but we're gonna go. This is obviously quite a dramatic look. I literally just put on my Kat Von D eyeliner, which I haven't used before, so I'm quite impressed with that. That's the tattoo eyeliner. It's worked quite well, to be honest. And I've just put on my Benefit mascara that I seem to have loads of. So yeah, that's what's on my eyes. In terms of lips, I've got the lip liner and liquid lipstick, I think this is, in exactly the same colour. I think it comes in one of them lip kits that they sell. I at Christmas got a massive vault of them with loads of different shades, and I'm pretty sure these were in one of them lip kits. So this is both in the shade Original. So obviously lip liner first, if I can open it. So this looks quite creamy, to be honest. It doesn't look like a pencil, it looks more like a cream pencil. So I'm hoping I'm going to like this. I normally do quite like the creamy consistency. My lips are quite dry at the moment, so I might prep them with my MAC primer. I don't feel like it will be a very fair test if I test it on completely dry lips, because it will just stick to them and it won't look very nice. So, and here we go with the lip liner. So I'm not really one for overlining my lips. I literally just follow my lips that are there. I'm just going to shade that down a little bit, just so there's a bit of a base colour for my lipstick to stick to. I'm really impressed with how this is gliding on and just how pigmented it is. It's doing a really, really good job. I mean, to be honest, I have used quite a bit of it. If we then go in with the matching liquid lipstick, I think this is matte. I'm not sure. I threw away the box ages ago, so I'm not sure if it's matte or if it's meant to be like a satin finish or something, but we'll see. So I put it on. I'm just going to let it dry down a minute because it is quite wet currently, and I still can't tell whether it's meant to be matte or if it's a satin finish. So I'm just going to let that dry and then we will see. Okay, so I've taken my Ever So Lovely headband off my head because we are now done. I've let my lips sit for a minute and they're not drying, so I'm assuming this is probably more of a gloss than it is a liquid lipstick, which I wouldn't normally wear. Also, I would not normally team this lip colour with the eyes that I've got. I would normally like subtle lip, either like a very light pink or a very light nude. This is a bit dark for me, to be honest, considering that I've got quite a full-on eye going on. But the lipstick's not bad. I definitely prefer the lip liner to the lipstick or lip gloss, whatever it is. It went on quite nice. it's not a bad colour if I had a more subtle eye going on. And yeah, the lip liner I definitely like. The lip liner glides on really, really well. Would definitely buy more of them. Yeah, I think I quite like the way my skin's looking. I definitely like the highlighter. I'm really impressed with the eyeshadow. There is a lot of fallout from it, but I use glitter, so I think that's probably why. The eyebrow thing that I put on my eyes, not really done a lot. My eyebrows are still sticking up, so I've probably done something wrong with that. But that's my own fault for not buying a brow product that I would actually use. So next time I think I'd do that, and I'd also like to test if they've got an eyeliner or a mascara. I'd like to test them. I don't think it looks that bad. I think for someone like me that's a novice in terms of makeup, I think it's actually done quite a good job. A lot of it was very easy to apply. I don't think you can go that wrong with this. I think it's all very easy to use makeup. The price point's good, and yeah, other than the fact that the bronzer is a bit dark for me, so it took me some work getting it on, yeah, I think it's pretty easy to use. Let me know what you think of this makeup look. I mean, it's a bit dramatic. I probably wouldn't wear this day in, day out, quite clearly. I wouldn't wear it to work. If you're interested in seeing what I do wear in terms of everyday makeup, I can do a video on that. Just let me know below. Let me know if you've used Revolution makeup before and how you feel about it. And if you want to see an average girl test up any other brands, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to look into the full face of that brand. If you did like this video, as always, hit that like button and hit subscribe down below if you haven't already. And hopefully I will see you all in my next video.